God is an alien. That's exactly what the secret gospel of the Egyptians reveals. This secret gospel was banned by the church, and anyone caught with it was put to death. This banned knowledge is exactly what could save the world from its current state of division and imminent annihilation. If you can understand the information I'm about to reveal by the end of this video, you will have begun to reach a new elevated state of consciousness well beyond the vast majority of humanity. Why was the church so intent on destroying this information? The Gospel of the Egyptians, discovered in the 1940s, buried near the tombs of ancient Egypt, reveals that the creator of the world isn't God at all, but an evil being called Sakla, who tricked humanity into believing that it was God. Sakla declared himself to be a jealous God and the only God in existence. And Sakla deceived the world by saying, "I am a jealous God, and apart from me, nothing has come into being." Now compare what the entity Sakla said to what the God of Christianity says in the Bible. "I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. I am the Lord, and there is no other. Besides me, there is no God." The Gospel of the Egyptians is revealing that the God of Christianity is actually the evil entity Sakla who fooled the world. In fact, the name Sakla means fool. According to the Gospel of the Egyptians, God and his angels aren't what you think. The Gospel reveals that Sakla is an evil cosmic entity that generated or gave birth to a host of assistants called archons, which he commands. These archons are cosmic rulers. In fact, the word archon means ruler. And these cosmic rulers, the archons, are associated with the stars and celestial bodies. There is an order of 12 archons corresponding to the 12 signs of the zodiac, and an order of 7 archons corresponding to 5 of the planets and the sun and the moon. According to the Gospel of the Egyptians, Earth was created in Hades by Sakla and his archons who rule over the earth, keeping humanity trapped as slaves by luring souls to incarnate into human bodies again and again. By the way, if you haven't hit like or subscribe yet, do it now. It takes just a quick tap for you, but it helps spread this information. Now, the Gospel of the Egyptians reveals that there is a higher being than Sakla and his archons. This is a being that's infinitely powerful and a being that Sakla rebelled against. This is an all-powerful being, the highest of all beings, a being of pure light. And this being is exactly what the gospel is all about. The banned gospel says, "The holy book of the Egyptians is about he who came forth from the heights of perfection, the light of the eons of light, the light of the silence of the providence, and the father of the silence, the light of the word and the truth, the light of the incorruptions, the infinite light, the radiance from the eons of light of the unrevealable, unmarked, ageless, unproclaimable, the eon of eons, self-begotten, self-producing, alien, the real, true eon." Now, what does it mean to call this all-powerful being of light alien? Now, it doesn't mean that it's some technologically advanced being in a spaceship. That's a primitive idea. It means that this being of light is beyond space and time. Because, of course, when the Gospel of the Egyptians was written, there was no concept of what we think of as aliens today. When it uses the word alien, it means that this being of light is not of this world, that this being originates from another place. Now, what's the name of this being? According to the Gospel of the Egyptians, the name of this supreme being of light cannot be uttered. Its name can't be spoken because its name is a secret symbol that can't be seen. The Gospel of the Egyptians says, "The Father, whose name cannot be uttered, the Father of the light of everything, he who came forth from the silence while he rests in the silence, he whose name is an invisible symbol." I'm going to reveal the true secret name of this alien god of light. But first, we have to understand its power. Since its name can't be spoken, the Gospel of the Egyptians gave a name to its creative power. They called the power of light Domadon Doxameron. According to the Gospel of the Egyptians, everything, all reality, is generated from this being of light and its power, Domadon Doxameron. Now, in the Bible, God said, "Let there be light." It was the first creation. But according to the Gospel of the Egyptians, God didn't create light. God is light. The Supreme Being is a being of pure light, and everything is generated from this light. All creation, all matter, everything around you is generated from eternal light. But the question is, could this actually be true? Could all reality, everything that we experience, be generated from the power of an alien god of light? According to one of the most significant physicists of the 20th century, that's 100% correct. See, the physicist David Bohm believed that all matter, everything in the universe, was generated by light. He said, light can carry information about the entire universe. Light, by interactions of different rays, produce particles and all the diverse structures of matter. They are ripples on this vast ocean of light. This ocean of energy could be thought of as an ocean of light. All matter is a condensation of light into patterns moving back and forth at average speeds, which are less than the speed of light. Now, this information, it's critical to understand to reveal the secret name, the invisible symbol of the God of light. Now, according to David Bohm, all matter is just light that has been condensed and slowed down below the speed of light, meaning that when light is slowed, it becomes matter. So if this being of light and its power, Domadon Doxameron, can be thought of as an ocean of light, it would be able to create matter from itself by simply slowing down its rays. Now, if it seems strange to think that matter could come from light, then thinking about water and ice is a useful analogy. Imagine pieces of ice floating in a pool of water. Ice is simply transformed water. If you think of the pool of water like the universe of light, and the ice in the pool like matter, which is like transformed light. See, we exist within an ocean of light, and matter is just transformed light, light that has been slowed down and frozen, so to speak. David Bohm said, "Matter is condensed or frozen light. When we come to light, we are coming to the fundamental activity in which existence has its ground. The universe consists of frozen light." That light is fundamental also matches up perfectly with reports of those in deep meditative states, psychedelic-induced states, and those who've had near-death experiences who report experiencing the perfect white light of the source, which I've also experienced myself. Now, we have everything that we need to reveal the name of the alien god of light. So, if all reality is ultimately just light, what is light exactly? Well, if you think about it, light is nothing but frequency. To understand this, think about color. Color is simply light oscillating at a certain frequency. And the only thing that separates one color from another is its frequency. So if light is frequency, well then what exactly is frequency? Well, pure frequency in itself, removed from space and time, is a purely mathematical concept. This means to say that if this reality is made of light, it's equivalent to saying that this is a mathematical reality, because light is frequency, and pure frequency removed from space and time is a purely mathematical concept. The idea that reality is mathematical was put forth by the philosopher Pythagoras, who said all is number, and number rules the universe. With that in mind, I want to take a moment to show you this symbol. This symbol is known as the flower of life, and all it is a collection of circles. That's it. According to an esoteric system known as sacred geometry, this mathematical pattern is responsible for generating all reality. But how could a bunch of circles generate all reality? That seems kind of crazy. Until you realize that circles contain the concept of frequency. See, a circle actually generates a sinusoidal wave, a sine and cosine to be exact, which contain the concept of frequency. This means that circles and sinusoidal waves are the same concept, just viewed in a different way, just like how you can view this pen from straight on or the side. So if you have circles, you have sinusoidal waves, and if you have sinusoidal waves, you have frequencies. So from another perspective, you could view the flower of life, this collection of circles, as actually being a collection of frequencies. Why is the name of the God of light unspeakable and a secret invisible symbol? Because the name of God, the thing that represents God, isn't any kind of name you can speak. It's a mathematical concept. The name of God is a mathematical formula for generating frequencies, for governing light waves. This is why the Gospel of the Egyptians says the name of God is a secret, invisible symbol, because it's actually a mathematical concept. But if that wasn't incredible enough, this is mind-blowing. See, the truth is that the alien God of light is you. You are the alien God of light. Let me explain. According to the Gospel of the Egyptians, everything comes from the alien God of perfect light and its power, Domadon Doximidon. Even you. The Gospel reveals that Sakla and his archons trapped humanity into a material prison by taking pieces of the God of light and imprisoning these pieces in matter, in bodies. That means that you and I and all of us are actually pieces of the God of light that have been trapped in the material world, and the only way to escape it and escape the cycle of reincarnation is to remember what you really are. But is that actually what's going on? Is this world a prison planet ruled by cosmic entities that you need to escape from? Well, that's not exactly right. The truth is even more incredible, because we are the perfect God of light. We are God, but we're not being trapped by evil cosmic rulers. What really happened was that we wiped our own memory and shattered ourselves into the material world, where our fragments, souls of light, now are incarnated. Now, why would we ever want to do that? This is the answer to the secret of existence itself. Here's actually how and why we, all of us, chose to do that. Imagine that nothing exists except this God of light. Nothing at all but infinite, perfect light. Now imagine that that's what you are. You are a perfect eternal being, all powerful and all knowing. What would you do? Would you be like the God of the Bible and create the world, animals, and humans and watch over them? But if you think carefully about it, that would never happen. Why? Because you're all knowing. You'd know exactly what would happen. There would be no point in doing it. Here's another way to think about it. If you're eternal and all-powerful, you would have done everything that could possibly be done an infinite number of times. There would be absolutely nothing to do because you've done it all. If you really think about it deeply, there's only one thing you could do. Forget that you're God. If you wiped your memory and limited your power of knowing everything, you could experience everything like it was new. Do you want to know the secret of existence? Here's what really happened. You and I and all of us are the perfect eternal God of light. We wiped our memory of what we are and shattered ourselves into matter, transforming ourselves, a portion of ourselves into matter. That shattering, that transforming a portion of ourselves into matter, that was the Big Bang. See, the Big Bang didn't come from nothing. That's crazy. How could the universe come from nothing at all? The truth is, the Big Bang actually came from light. Eternal light. When light is slowed, it transforms into matter. Light has the power to generate all matter, and the Big Bang was the moment we wiped our memories and shattered ourselves from a unity into a multiplicity, a universality to a particularity. We shattered into matter in a similar way to how pure light fractures into a rainbow of colors when it goes through a prism, when it diffracts. We are the aliens. We are God. We did not originate on this planet. We are not of this world. We are the eternal ocean of infinite light from which all things are born. Right now, we are the God of light experiencing the world of matter that we created from our own transformations, from ourselves and for ourselves. It's not a prison. It's actually a playground. It just doesn't seem like it right now because humanity hasn't realized what it is. It worships a God in the sky instead of realizing that we are God. It hates others for being different instead of realizing that we're here to celebrate and experience our diversity. See, there isn't actually an evil God enslaving us, but the idea of a God outside of us, the kind of God of mainstream religion, well, that keeps humanity trapped from realizing that we are actually God. You might be wondering, if that's true, why should we realize that we're God? Wasn't the whole point to forget? Well, the point was to explore our diversity through our transformation. So now, while we are still in diversity, realizing what we are will allow us to actually enjoy our creation, to enjoy our transformations. Once we realize that we are God, we can begin creating a beautiful new world. See, a lot of New Age and Eastern religions, and even the Gospel of the Egyptians, teach that this reality is something that needs to be escaped from. Well, that's not true. The truth is that we, as the God of all things, are here to transform this world and the universe. Now, my question for you is, do you believe that we're the alien God of light, experiencing itself through its material transformations? Tell me in the comments now, I'll be reading them. My channel, it's about spreading this information to create a new humanity and a new earth. So hit like and subscribe now so that the algorithm spreads it around. And if you ever feel like you've learned something or gotten something from my videos, consider supporting on Patreon to get access to secret videos, weekly hidden live streams in our Discord server, The Citadel. You can also help by hitting the join button on YouTube right below this video.